night's recap of Survivor. This was a crazy episode.
This was a crazy episode. Remember last time Jeremy was blindsided?
Yeah, that was crazy too.
Yeah, well, this time, Reed, Keith, Wes, and Alec, are they going to form an alliance?
Reed is like, hello, we need to stick together now that they made this big move, took out Jeremy. We've got to make things happen. Natalie is pissed because Jeremy was her main ally.
She can't trust Missy anymore because Missy knew. She didn't, and she didn't tell her.
Yep.
So John tells Natalie, as kind of a good faith
He's got to pull her back in. He's like, guess what? I have this idol, and I wouldn't tell you that unless I trusted you.
All right, well, apparently Natalie still doesn't trust him because she woke up in the middle of the night in the dark and went out searching for the idol.
She thinks back to when she was on Exile Island with, what's-her-face, Baylor, and Baylor told her about the clue.
I like what's-her-face better.
I like it too. So she's like, wow, I should still keep looking for this.
All right, so it's time for the reward challenge.
Woo! So they divided up into 2 teams.
It was a playground pick, which means that Keith is sitting out with no chance of reward because it's uneven. But the whole thing is
It looks exhausting.
It's very exhausting. It's land and water.
You gotta swim, then you gotta climb,
then you gotta jump,
you gotta
grab.
swim.
You might even get pulled in.
Well, after the first person gets to the other side. That was an interesting thing. They had, once the first person gets to the other end with their puzzle pieces, you were able to be pulled in.
That was pretty cool.
A buoy.
I wonder if they knew that before they made their order of...
I'm sure they did, yeah.
All right, so
basically you had to get the puzzle pieces to the other side. Everyone grabs a key on the way. Only 1 of 4 keys unlocks the base of the puzzle.
Exactly. So the puzzle is this giant friggin' idol.
Pretty much, yeah.
All right.
A friggin' idol.
Well, what are you playing for? You might ask.
It's a very special reward this week.
It's the Good Samaritan one. You get to deliver baseball equipment to kids in need. You get to watch them play a baseball game because apparently baseball is huge in Nicaragua and these kids have nothing. And then you get to eat delicious old-timey baseball food.
This is so awesome. I love when they play Survivor Ambassador.
And Cracker Jacks.
Right, so let's talk about the 2 teams. The yellow team, Reed, Alec, Jacqueline, and John.
And on the blue team, Wes, Natalie, Missy, and Baylor.
So as we said earlier, Keith does not get to participate.
Poor old-timey fireman.
Okay.
So during the water part of this challenge, it was so neck and neck.
It was very close.
But then... Blue was having a real problem unlocking the base to build the idol.
They took a dump. They couldn't do it.
You have 4 keys.
I guess they were freaking out and they're like...
No, they were like...
Alright, so yellow was the winner of this challenge. And Jeff was like, oh, Baylor, you look really upset. Because she was just like...
Yeah. She's like, he's like, what's wrong? Well, I really want my mom to win the... reward because she hasn't won anything yet.
Right. So Reed takes a page out of last week's playbook and he's like, Missy, I'm swapping spots with you. You're going on this reward.
But Baylor still looked pissed.
Baylor still looked upset.
She wanted to go too, but nobody
we see what's
offered,
up.
Yeah, to swap with her. So John gets to pick who goes to exile.
The winners do.
Right. Well, John's the spokesman. Because he does everything for everyone.
Well, they decide they're going to send Wes to exile, and
Wes
pissed.
was really pissed.
Yeah, he was just like...
All right. Well, at the reward, it was really touching.
Teary-eyed.
They delivered the presents, and all the kids are going freaking nuts. They're like, oh my God, new shirts, new baseball. They weren't saying that.
No.
They were with their eyes, though, because I don't think they really spoke English, but...
It was really touching.
It was really touching.
I love when they do stuff like that.
They're bringing out the food for them, and the one kid was really interested in John's ice cream.
Give me some of that ice cream. I see you got some rainbow sprinkles there. Hook me up.
He fed him. It was so nice, and it's kind of touching, even though I don't like John. It's, he wants to have a child.
They talked about how Jacqueline can't have kids.
Right. And he would probably be a pretty good dad.
Yeah.
If he wasn't playing Survivor with the kid.
It's a game!
All right. So, back at camp, this is Reed's opportunity to talk to Keith.
He needs to knock some sense into Keith, make sure that he gets what's going on here. Because Keith he said, I'm not a numbers guy. Like, I don't know what's going on.
Keith doesn't have a clue.
No.
So
Reed is like, this is what will happen.
They're splitting the vote. Half of the people are voting for Wes, or half of the people are voting for Wes. Half the people are voting for Wes, and the other half are voting for you, old-timey fireman.
And he's like, oh, okay, I get it.
I can offer you something, but we'll talk about it.
All right, so Natalie and Baylor, all those other clowns are on the reward challenge, or the reward. So they're like, okay, let's look for that idol.
And they freaking find it.
Natalie finds it. And I was really shocked because I was like, wait, what idol is this? Because I didn't think that they had a new clue. I thought that was the same old tired clue that they were giving them the whole time.
It must have been the John Rocker idol that he walked out with that they replaced. But they decide that they want to get Reed out. And then John, because they want to pull the old impossible all-girls alliance.
We'll see about that. Okay.
Right. So
you know what, though? It has worked before on this show. Survivor has had all-girl alliances.
Successfully, yes. Immunity challenge. It's an endurance. I've got to love the endurance ones.
All right, so you're basically on this post, and you have to hold your arms up, and then you have to keep your feet on this little perch. And they adjusted each one to go along with everyone's height.
You're basically like Jesus hanging on the cross.
You know, it kind of was.
You're not nailed in.
It kind of was.
Yeah, it's really... Ugh. So Jeff comes out and is like, hey, who wants some candy? And nobody takes it. They're all like...
He starts eating it in front of them. And that's when it becomes valuable.
Right.
It's like when you give a dog a treat and they're kind of like... And then you're like, no, you want this. You want it now? And they're like... Yeah.
So then John takes it when he finds out that it's his favorite candy bar or whatever. Yeah,
it's like a Snickers to me. I don't know.
Yeah, it did look like... Or a Milky Way. And then after 30 minutes, Missy quits.
Well, let me just emphasize, John quit the challenge after 7 minutes.
People were a little pissed. I know Reed was.
Yeah.
And then Jeff brings out cookies and milk. Poor Missy, she quit after 30 minutes.
Nothing.
She got nothing. But Jeff brings out the cookies and milk, and Wes is all like, if 2 people get down, Jeff, do 2 people get it? And Jeff is like, what a coinkydink. There's 2 glasses of milk in here.
And, oh my gosh, Baylor and Jacqueline, like, jumped off. They jumped off.
So they had their cookies and milk. Mm-hmm. And then Jeff is like, before he even opened the thing, pretty much, Wes was like, yes, beer and wings.
Well, he was standing there like...
Beer and wings.
Yeah, he jumped down for that. And he was devouring that chicken. He was talking some nonsense about eating all these chicken nuggets.
Like 58 in, like, chicken nuggets in 5 minutes.
Jeff was just like, okay.
Jeff is like, Keith, what's up with your boy? And Keith is like, I'm going to have a father-son talk with him after when we get back to camp.
All right, so.
1 hour and 20 minutes into it.
Keith just can't do it anymore.
He can't do it.
You know, I got respect for him. He's been freaking kicking butt.
He really has.
In all of these challenges.
And then Alec quits. Mm-hmm. So they get nothing.
Ouch.
So it comes down to Natalie versus Reed.
This is where things got really crazy.
Reed is not getting down off the cross because he is a friggin' dancer.
And he wants this immunity.
Yes. He knows there's a real possibility that he is going home.
Yeah.
So after 3 hours, a 3-hour tour, where's Gilligan?
A really funny moment happened here. Reed is like, spits. Natalie's like, I'm going to do that too. Oh, she spit on herself.
That was really
And you can't even wipe it away. So, as Jeff put it, unfortunate.
Yeah. So then she's like, yeah, Jeff, you know what? If you brought out some food right now, I'd get down.
Well, even before that, Wes, he's got the wings in the belly. He's having a grand old time talking to Jeff. He's like, remember when you were on 2.5 Men and you were naked cooking, what, like pancakes?
And
Jeff was like, no, it was bacon. Oh. That was great. And he's like, yeah, I love that show. How funny was that?
I'm going to have to go look that up now on YouTube.
Oh, that's great. I feel like I remember seeing commercials for it.
Yeah. Well, Natalie's all like, food?
Bring me food. And Jeff is like, Here you go.
I thought Jeff was going to laugh in her face, but he came out exactly with what she wanted.
They had it waiting on the sidelines. She wanted pizza, wings, cookie, and cold water. And I think they even threw a beer in there.
They threw a beer in there, too. So,
it took her a few minutes to think about it.
Yeah. She took it.
She did, which means that Reed won individual immunity this week.
It was really sad because they couldn't move once they got down.
Well, apparently he could because Reed went right into a split.
He's doing the splits.
But he couldn't get out of it.
Did you see that point?
Oh! Okay.
All right.
That's why he's on Broadway.
Exactly. So Reed won. He gets back to camp. He wants to blindside John.
He wants to put this John plan into action.
John's a total D. And he wants all the D's out.
The plan is to tell that John Alliance, we're going to split the vote, and we're going to give half or whatever to Wes, and then to Keith. But then, the actual plan, is to have Reed and Alec vote with Wes and Keith to get rid of John.
Right. So
they're all like, yeah, we're down, let's do this.
Exactly. So at Tribal, Jacqueline is saying that she feels pretty safe.
It seems like a lot of people thought they were safe. The way that they were
with my 5.
Going for those rewards.
Yeah. And no idols have been played yet. And does that mean that people are feeling comfortable? You know what happens when you feel comfortable? It's dangerous. You're going to get voted out. So Natalie's all yakking about how having an idol is a blessing and a curse. Does that have like a red flag for anybody? You know, that she's talking about this like she knows what it feels like to have an idol?
I don't know.
They didn't really explore that. And she's all, yeah, it's all about the timing. You want to use it at that perfect moment.
Yeah, so then Reed kind of like calls out Wes and Keith saying like, oh, I think one of them has an idol. And Keith is getting nervous. He's freaking out. Chill, Keith. It's all a part of the show, baby. But Keith is like...
loses it. He's like, yeah, stick to the plan. What?
And everyone's like, oh, what?
What did you just
What
say?
plan?
Yeah.
So everyone's freaking out. There's whispers everywhere.
John was already nervous.
Yeah.
Because he didn't trust Reed to begin with. Now he's like, what the actual F? So
Jacqueline's saying some stuff like, stick to this, we'll
go with you guys.
Like, what? I don't even know what that means. What?
Everyone is confused at this point.
Yeah.
Everyone.
So let's get to the vote.
All right. After the vote, Natalie tells John,
you better use that idol.
And he's like, really? You think I should? And she's like, hey, it's up to you, bro.
So then Keith is like, oh, Wes, get that idol. Get that idol out.
Get that idol to bag.
Yeah, So John decides to play his idol.
Yeah.
And then Keith is like, I'm going to play my idol.
Actually, he wanted Wes. He was like, Wes,
no,
you want to play it?
You do it.
Yeah. So Wes ended up being voted out.
With 2 votes.
2 stinking votes.
Wow. That was a crazy tribal. So we got 2 idols out of play now.
It almost seemed like Natalie felt a little bit left out because she didn't get to play hers.
She's like, should I play mine?
I got one too,
She really saved John's butt this week because I don't think he was going to use it if she didn't say anything.
He definitely was not going to use it. Next time, it is a 2-hour tour.
I'm getting my wisdom teeth out the day before, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I don't know what's going to happen, but it's going to be crazy. That's all I know. Reed calls Baylor a brat.
And of course, Missy's all like, don't you say that.
And then John and Jacqueline get into a fight.
Ooh. Looks bad.
It does look really bad. I can't wait.
All right, well, let us know what you guys thought of this episode. How crazy was it? Leave it in the comments.
And until next time, much love.
Edit.